Sheffield has a decent history of graffiti art, but it's only slightly above average compared to other cities in the UK. Street art and graffiti in Sheffield is done by a small group of artists who paint a variety of different styles of work, from traditional graffiti art with hip-hop connections to more street art style work. I started painting in Sheffield at around 93-94. There has always been a progression in my work, both in technical ability and style. I was inspired by hip-hop and by graffiti I saw on the train lines in Sheffield and local artists. Recently, over the past few years, I've moved on towards more organic styles, using more greens and things like that. Most of the time, street art is appreciated, and people like to see good paintings dotted around the city on their way to work or while walking home. Street art is more publicly acceptable and often more simple. It's not created for a niche group like graffiti art letter styles. Graffiti art letters and characters are not clearly understood by the public. I think they like simple things they can understand.
I see this is more acceptable. It seems like the community of Sheffield seem to embrace the artwork quite a lot, and they don't mind it being here. And I think it actually brings some culture and a bit of vibrance to the city.
Really, I think that's really acceptable because it's kind of a really dreary, horrible place, and it's actually brightened it up and made it quite funny and humorous. So it makes it friendlier. But often, the more traditional graffiti can be a little bit threatening at times. Maybe I was in Naples, and the graffiti was, covered all the trains and the walls, and it was quite scary. So I guess as kind of street art, it's a nice way of doing it. Yeah.
I don't draw any inspiration from anyone in the city. My ideas and drive are my own. There is a sense of both rivalry and community. Many artists meet regularly and often paint together. The rivalry is often more like sportsmanship. The rebellious side of graffiti doesn't interest me in the slightest. In fact, it's one of the sides I dislike about graffiti and street art. I'm an artist, I love to paint, I want to find places to paint. My ideas, thoughts and artwork are not rebellious. I like to portray thoughts and emotions as well as work that is visually stimulating.
Some street art's okay, as long as it's not too much and it's only in some places. I quite like it in my city actually. Banksy makes a lot of points, and he has messages in a lot of his work, and he puts it in like deprived areas and things.
Well, I'm a big David Attenborough fan because I watch him on the telly, so I'm quite happy to look at his face wherever it appears. I think it's fantastic. Really like it. It's very weird when you're close up to it because you can't see anything, you can't see what it is at all. But from here, it looks amazing.
Although there are a small group of taggers who are rebellious in nature and often disrespect our work and wall space, we as graffiti street artists are often thought as one and the same by the public.
I like to see street art that brings the buildings alive rather than just mess on the walls.
I do try and get permission for work in the city centre. Getting permission though is often difficult. Building owners worry that it will bring down the value of their property, or worry that it might attract tagging, which in many cases it does, unfortunately. On some occasions I will paint boards and walls without permission if I think it will suit the place and if I'm sure that it won't cost anyone money in fines by the council or cause anyone problems.
I wasn't aware of street art. I'm not really a city person. I live in a little village, so I'm not really used to seeing graffiti anywhere. And I hadn't been aware that there was a big movement in Sheffield. Oh, my dates were actually be encouraged. Yeah, go for it. Let's have more street art. We've been to Londonderry recently, where there's a lot of massive murals on the walls there depicting quite a lot of the history of the place, and that was very interesting. So maybe a bit more to tell us about the history of Sheffield would be good.
Lots of UK cities have similar scenes, but Sheffield is moving towards something more original. I really do think there is a future. I would like to see the council and business owners trusting in what we can do as artists and on behalf of the city.
I wasn't aware of the street art movement in Sheffield, and I think why not, really? It's good fun.
I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, they're very artistic. I don't see what's wrong with them. They're very good. If people enjoy them, why not keep doing it?